Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinateach Python. Today we'll be looking at looping tuples. So a little bit more about looping tuples. As we did with list, we looked at, list syntax, comprehension, for loop and while loop with list, and we're going to do the same thing with tuples. Once again, for and while loops, as well as looping using index. So first, let's tackle for loop. I'm sure if you've watched my previous lessons, you already know the simple syntax for loops. I have here a tuple, animals, bunny, chicken, kitten, 0, 1, and 2 respectively. For types, if you remember, this text right here is simply a placeholder. The names doesn't really matter, so you can feel free to input a more, cohesive and specific name so that your code is friendlier to read. In animals, the tuples over here, print types. So what do you think will be the result of this for loop code? Well, it's going to be bunny, chicken, and kitten. Next up, let's tackle while loop. Once again, we have our good old tuples, bunny, chicken, and kitten. Now, I'm giving types over here a more specific name, start, print, add, and we'll start at 0, okay, unless you want to start at a different number. While start, print, add is less than the length of the tuple animal, print the tuple animals starting at 0, denoted by start, print, add, and after Python prints the, index 0, increase start, print, add by 1. So after it prints 0, the index is going to be 1, so it prints the index 1. And then after it prints index 1, increase it by 2, by one more time, so the index is going to be 2. It's incremental like that. Last but not least, looping index for, just like the for loop. Start, print, add, our index starter over here, in range of the length of the tuple animals, print animals, start, print, add. So what this does, it goes through each index one by one, very similarly to while loop, okay? So it'll just go through 0, 1, and 2. But the while loop does give you a little bit more flexibility with the ability to allow you to decide on where in the index that you want to start. Maybe you don't want to start at 0, you want to start at 3, 4, 5, and whatnot. First off, let's create a tuple named animals, and within it we have rabbit, lion, and zebra. Let's go with the for loop first. For types, like I did in my PowerPoint, in animals, print types. Now, let's look at a while loop. I'm going to start with start, print, add, and set it at 0. While, start, print, add is less than the length of animals. Print animals, start, print, add. Once again, start, print, add, increment by 1. Later, we're going to experiment with start, print, add for a bit, but for now, let's just continue writing our code. Next up is going to be the index. For start, print, add in range of the length of animals, print animals, start, print, add, okay? Now let's save this and let's run it. Okay, there we go. Now we have rabbit, lion, zebra, rabbit, lion, zebra, rabbit, lion, zebra. It's printed 3 times since we have 3 different loops over here. Now I want to start with a different tuple for my while loop. So I'm just gonna go with transportation equals to cars, motorbikes, boats, and plane. What else? bicycle, hoverboard. I guess you can, just for fun. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this one up here. Now I'm going to change into transportation instead of animals. Transportation over here. Transportation over here. I hope I'm not missing anything. So now let's try number 2 here. Okay, as you can see, it starts from boat, right? Boat as opposed to cars. Now, what if we increment it by 2 and let's start at 0 instead? Now it starts with cars, right? And then it skips, then it starts with boat, and starts with bicycle, okay? And then it skips the hoverboard. Now let's increment it by 3, okay? Now it's just cars and plane. Cars, 1, 2, 3, plane, 1, 2, nothing, okay? That's it for today's lesson. Thank you for watching. And our next topic is going to be joining tuples, just like we're joining lists. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Learn today, better tomorrow. Goodbye.